Unfortunately, when someone is battling an eating disorder, it's very common for that eating disorder voice to sort of take over and tell them, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody does this, or it's not that serious. You're not using the behaviors often enough for you to actually have an eating disorder. But I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Even if you're only using a disordered behavior occasionally, that doesn't mean that you don't have an eating disorder. Now, of course, I can't diagnose that. I am not specifically in your situation, but it's worth talking about with your doctor or dietitian or therapist to figure out what is truly going on, because that eating disorder voice can be really, really sneaky. I want to show you today the metabolic test results of an individual who thought exactly this. She thought, you know what, I'm not sick enough, people are overreacting, I'm not really using that many behaviors that frequently, so I don't know what you're talking about. But then when we did the metabolic test, we were able to see how that was impacting her internally, and it really helped to bring together that, oh yeah, maybe what I'm doing is more disordered than I thought. So this is this individual's metabolic test at her initial visit. And so this person came in because she had lost about 30 pounds over the past year, and her physician was pretty concerned, but again, she didn't think it was that big of a deal. Now, when I asked her what she had been doing, she was restricting her intake really low. She was trying to keep it around 1,000 calories per day. She was exercising 2 hours per day. And then she was also purging or self-induced vomiting anytime she ate anything that she deemed to be too big. Now, sometimes that would be once a week, sometimes that would be 3 times a week, other times she wouldn't do it for months, but was definitely a behavior that was sort of bubbling up here and there, sometimes more frequently than others. Now again, she didn't think this was that big of a deal. She's like, you know what, everybody restricts, or a lot of people I know will make themselves throw up if they feel really full. So she had sort of been told that this was normal, despite the fact that she had other people in her life really concerned about her behaviors. Now, what you can see here with her metabolic test is that her metabolism had come down really, really low. It's down at 991 when it should be at 1450 or higher, meaning that her body was compensating because of these restrictive behaviors and purging behaviors that she had been using. What we also see is that her protein substrate, or breakdown of muscle mass, is 9.8% above where it should be, meaning that her body's chipping away at that essential lean mass. Now, this is someone who, again, didn't really believe that they had an eating disorder, but then when she saw these results, we're like, wow, this is actually impacting my body in a negative way. Now, she didn't immediately just become recovered, right? We had to work on a lot of different things in order to increase her food intake, decrease the purging behavior, even decrease exercise. But this was a little bit of a wake-up call that, hey, maybe the other people in my life aren't overreacting and I really do have an eating disorder. Now, it took this person a really, really long time to sort of identify with that diagnosis, but I wanted to point this case study out to you today because I think it's important that we remember that there's no such thing as being sick enough. You can have an eating disorder even if you feel like there's other people with eating disorders who are sicker than you. You deserve treatment, and it's worth getting that help so that you're not living with that constant eating disorder voice telling you that you're not good enough, or you have to restrict your food, or you have to do this, or whatever it might be. I encourage you to seek that treatment in the form of a doctor, a therapist, a dietitian, a combination of the three. You're worth it.